Right. So my name is Libro Vegas,
My name is Rogelio Herrera.
My name is Jacqueline Torres.
and so we're going to talk a little bit about how three distinct forms of government and their economic expenditures influence technology in three different forms of government, particularly capitalism, communism, and socialism. And this is all after the height of the James Bond era. So how does James Bond tie in? Well, some of the technology in James Bond filmography and novels has already been made a reality and takes a role in our everyday lives, and has a different level of significance according to the economic structure of the three governments that we're going to discuss.
Primarily, I will be addressing the topic of capitalism and the way mass surveillance in the United States grows rapidly in relevance between corporations in a capitalist economy. My research suggests that the involvement of technology in a capitalist economy has divided people by economical status. Basically, the type of technology being used in a capitalist economy is mass surveillance. Many of you will recognize mass surveillance based on the case of Edward Snowden, a former NSA employee. Moreover, further research indicates that consumers are now having to pay for privacy due to the fact that mass surveillance has been implemented in daily utilities.
So, if I may add to that, this is already all too familiar with the traditional James Bond plot. So, just another piece of evidence on how that narrative has influenced our own governmental structures. Right. So, the all too brutal form of government, communism, has been very prevalent in James Bond novels and filmography, mostly due to the very real life circumstances of the Cold War. Now, communist economics differ vastly from any of the other two economic systems. So it's almost seemingly like there's no room for technological advancement. However, the way that the Soviets managed to implement this, or what managed to strive for advancement, was to sort of formulate it into an incentivized way, where if you would create technology that would benefit the Union, you would be advancing yourself as well. And so through that concept came the ideal of techno-nationalism, which the Chinese very heavily clung to because they sought to make more indigenous technology and sort of release themselves from that dependency of foreign technology and claim superiority once again, something that might be included in a James Bond film.
On another note, we will be discussing the foreign intervention in Greece due to its financial crises. Reason for this is due to the debt cuts made to Greece's Socialist Party after its debt issues. Minister George Papandreou called for a referendum, this meaning a direct vote from the public to set the bailout conditions. Troika is an organization composed of three groups that hold immense power over Greece's financial crisis. Without the public acceptance of their bailout conditions, Troika stated that they would stop supplying financial support to Greece. Consented to the actions of the Troika's proposal. An important element of the agreement was to establish and convert a different system of government.
Ultimately, our research concludes that James Bond has indeed had an impact in the external world, specifically three forms of government: capitalism, communism, and socialism.